I'm going to probably sound like every other gym out there that says we have state-of-the-art equipment and special equipment. And it's become a ubiquitous term, which makes it challenging for us to really have people understand that we really do have specialized equipment, and the purpose of it is very important. You see, when you are lifting a weight, let's take the bicep curl for example. Your bicep is not as strong at the beginning of the repetition as it is at the 90-degree angle. That's where the bicep can handle the most weight. So for example, if your bicep can handle 100 pounds at its strongest position, it can only handle maybe 80 in its weakest position. And why? So when you see people lifting free weights where the weight doesn't change, right? What happens is that you have to use momentum to get out of that weaker position. But that defeats the whole purpose of lifting weights slowly, which makes, again, lifting weights slowly makes everything so much safer and more efficient. So if you want that safety and efficiency, how do you overcome the weak parts of a range of motion without adding momentum? Well, that's where our equipment comes in. We actually change our equipment to actually be lighter in those weaker positions and heavier in our strongest positions. And that's important because our joints are protected that way. Because when you're trying to lift a weight out of its weak position and the weight's too heavy in that position, the ligaments and connective tissue of that joint are going to be strained, and over time, if not right away, but certainly over time, you're going to get itises, tendonitis, bursitis, that kind of stuff. You're going to get inflammation, in other words, and it can lead to worse things. So whenever possible, it's important to consider the position and the machine you're using when you're doing a certain exercise and making sure that you're not straining the joint at certain weak positions, and there are ways around that. Our way around it in our studios was to actually redesign the equipment. But if you don't have specialized equipment, there are still ways to work around that, and we're going to get into that in future videos.